Hey guys, it's Chris from sellmorenewhomes.net and gotrealestateleads.com. I want to talk to you today about building your personal brand, and I'm going to actually advise you to move away from focusing on building a personal brand, and here's why. The topic of today, I'm going to tell you a story. The topic of today's talk is going to be called "Why Brand Building is Bull." Especially for a real estate agent, especially for a small business owner. When you think about a personal brand or a brand, what are some of the big brands that come to mind? Some of the big brands that come to mind are like, Coca-Cola, Walt Disney, those types of things. Now, those things have been around for a long time, right? So if you think about, I'm going to try to build my personal brand as a real estate agent in this market, what that is that's a relic and a byproduct of the old way of pre-internet thinking way long ago, when say you were in a town that only had 2 or 3 real estate agents, and you thought to yourself, if I can get my name up on every billboard in town, then I'm going to outsell Joe Smith, who's not interested in doing that, and I'm going to dominate the market. Well, that might have been okay to do in 1965. Nowadays, I live, in the northern Wasatch Front, and we've got at least between Ogden, Davis, Weber counties, in a community of about 500, 600,000 people, we've got over 2,000 realtors. So do you realize how much money I'm going to have to spend to differentiate myself from the other 2,000, I think it's like 2,600 realtors in my 2-county area? Do you know how much that's going to cost me? Right? That's going to cost, and that's not really a reality for a lot of us as small business owners, especially when we're first starting out. So when we're trying to build a brand, what you're really trying to do is appeal to everybody and anybody in the hopes that somebody in that gigantic pool might want to have to sell or buy a home. And that's like playing, blind archery, just shooting an arrow up in the air and hoping that it lands on somebody. The odds of that aren't real good, especially when we've only got so much money to spend on our marketing, which brings me to my second point. It's very expensive. If any of you looked into ads like banner ads or search engine optimization ads or print advertising, billboard advertising, it's very, very expensive. And the third part about it is, and it's cool. Okay, so don't get me wrong here. We're all about return on investment, right? If I spend $3,000 on a billboard and it brings me $30,000 in sales, I'm going to continue to do that month after month after month. The problem becomes with this brand associations, brand building, is that when I put that billboard up there, is there any way to track or measure what's coming to me specifically from that billboard? There are ways that you can do that. You can do that by having a separate 1-800 number, a separate website that's associated to just that billboard in just that area, and that's how you could track that. But why would you go through all that trouble when you can, for $5 to $10 a day on Facebook, target market exactly who you want to market to, and the demographics and the targeting software is so advanced and so simple to use on Facebook. Why would we mess around with anything else? Because then we're looking at, okay, I've got to get another website up and running because I'm going to use this billboard. Spend all your money in where these buyers already are. They're all on Facebook. Everybody's on Facebook. Everybody's on Instagram. Everybody's on social media. You might only get a certain number of people driving by that billboard or whatever it might be. Okay, so when we talk about brand building, that's the old way of doing things. That's trying to get your name out there. That's what we call the image advertising, right? Like, I'm the greatest, I'm the best. Another problem with that is that nobody really cares about you. If you've read my free report on the Real Estate Agent's Guide to Marketing New Homes Online, that's something we cover in there in depth and in detail. If you haven't gotten that, go ahead and hit me up. You can download that for free over at leadadstraining.com, and I'll put a link in here to that. But here I go again on another tangent, okay? The best thing you can do as a new small business or as a small business owner is to sell something now. You've got light bills, you've got mortgages, you've got car payments, you've got real estate agent dues, which are expensive, right? You've got to sell something, you got to keep your lights on, okay? Any of the brand building that we can do is a happy byproduct of making sales. So the way that my wife and I have created her brand, she can't go anywhere now. We can't go to a restaurant, we can't go to dinner, we can't go to any kind of real estate functions without somebody saying, "Oh, you're Jenny from Ivory." The reason for that is because we've sold so many homes to so many people, and we continue to market and market and target those real estate agents by emailing them in particular because they're part of our demographic. You want to be a very famous person, to quote my guy Dan Kennedy, a very famous person that nobody's ever heard of. And that's how you kind of build a brand without going broke, keeping the lights on and continuing to sell stuff. Again, we cover this in depth and in detail in my free download, my free PDF. It's called The Real Estate Agent's Guide to Selling New Homes Online. And it's really for any home, any agent. It's really awesome. I go through the 3 universal principles to selling, to marketing really any product online or off. I go through and I show you how to set up a Facebook page, and I show you some of the ads that we've been used. So you can pick that up for free. But again, I hope from today, the point that I'm trying to drive home is brand building is bull. You don't need to build a brand. You need to sell something now. Talk to you soon.